Welcome to my channel. Thank you guys for tuning in and join me for another best homage on AliExpress. So today we're going to cover the best Marinemaster homages that are available on AliExpress. There are some watches which are available on other sites, so the ones where I couldn't really find them on AliExpress, I looked on the other sites. Just to cover the format of this video, it's going to be similar to the video I did on the tuner, where it's going to be a bunch of screen recordings basically going through AliExpress, going through a couple of sites and just showcasing all the homages that I've come across. We're going to cover the four popular brands, Heimdallr, Proxima, SteelDive and SanMartin. There are a few other smaller brands that are popping up. I won't look at them because they've just got, you know, one or two. Just want to really hit the established ones where people are used to by now, the names they've heard. Before I go any further, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and support the channel. The channel is starting to pick up some traction. There's a great response from the subscribers and a great deal in the comments. Thank you to everyone involved. Please leave comments. I like to keep this channel interactive. I do try my best to respond to most of the comments out there. I love some of the discussions we have. There's a lot of information being shared on there. That's all great. So what I have in my hand, before we go on with the video, I've got my Proxima in my hand. Just want to cover one thing on it. But while I've looked through all the watches out there, there is one similarity which I'm going to share now. That's the case. The case is on 98% of them, I'd say. It is the same thing. And I think LogU make the cases. I could be wrong. LogU is a manufacturer. And one of their brands is SanMartin and LTM. So going through all the pictures, all the watches out there, there's nothing really much to say on the cases. I will mention all the individual dimensions. However, predominantly you've got 44mm diameter, you've got a 15mm thickness, give or take. I'd say, well, not take, but give up to 0.8mm. There is one exception which is mentioned in the video, and the log to log is 50mm. You know, the machining, everything is exactly the same from what I can tell in the pictures. So it just points towards the case being this case. Bracelet, you know, I've got it here. Bracelets are all the same actually. The clasp is different. Mine has, well, I've got an aftermarket. Well, it's not aftermarket, it's from a Marinemaster. I don't know, somebody wanted to sell the clasp and I was fortunate enough to buy it. So I've got this really cool ratchet extension, which I absolutely love. Okay, so let's continue with the video. The format is going to be similar to last time. At the end, I'll just sum it all up with a brief comparison, just going through the different, the differences between all the watches that I'm going to show. So we're back on AliExpress and we're going to go through all the Marinemaster homages out there across various brands. First one, I've just logged into the SteelDive. I searched up the SteelDive name. And this is the SteelDive Marinemaster. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, the cases, from what I've seen across all the brands and all the different versions, and believe me, they are a lot. The cases are the same, so I'll just reiterate that point. But we're just going to look at, obviously, dial features and the different styles. That's the only difference, really. And as we go further on in the video, you'll see different movements. So with the SteelDive, as you can see, you do get a sterile version. In that, you also get the one with the SteelDive design on the logo on the actual watch face. So this is a monocog case. There's a pretty nice crown on there. You do need a chunky crown with this size watch. And you've got your Marinemaster hands, pretty clear printing. Now, I've got experience with SteelDive. I think the dials are absolutely fine. And as you saw, if I go back, go forward, the lume on the dial is a BGW9, as well as on the ceramic bezel. They only do a black dial version, but it does come with different kinds of straps. Let's go down. So you've got silicone logo, no logo, leather, stainless steel logo, no logo. Now the prices for the SteelDive range from 148 to 151. Specifications, this is on the Albuy store. And again, all these watches that I do go through, the stores will be linked below in the description with an affiliate link. So please, if you want to buy any of these, just use the link. So within the item description, one thing I do love about SteelDive, they give a really thorough, extensive specification list. So you've got the NH35 movement, double dome sapphire, you've got a ceramic bezel insert. So it gives you the case length here at 50, lug to lug, case diameter 44, the case thickness 17.2. That's the thickest of the lot, to be honest. It's quite a thick watch. You've got all the specification here. I won't go into every single detail. You can have a look at this if you choose to get one of these. So, you know what, it is going to be a solid build. There's nothing more I can say, really. So I think at the starting point, it is a really good watch from SteelDive. And I think it might be the cheapest as well. So next we move on to the SanMartin official store. Let's just go into the actual store. Come on. Okay. We search through and we should find the Marinemaster. Okay. And here we go. So looking at the SanMartin Marinemaster, the first thing I can see is, I don't know if you spotted that the crown looks a bit shorter, so maybe it's a slightly shorter crown, or it might be recessed into the case. I actually believe it is. That's a nice touch. It just tucks the crown in slightly. Everything else, the finishing is the same on the case. On the case back, you do have a nice 3D logo of the shark. I do like SanMartin's logo. I think it just looks quite nice. The dial, this one is the blue version. It's got a nice thick loom around the bezel insert. It's got a nice dial. So this Marinemaster, if we go through, you've got to admit these Marinemasters they do look tough. They look quite thick as well. So you've got, let's have a look, black, green and blue. So the blue and the green do have sunray dials, whereas the black is a flat dial. The price ranges from 241 to 247. 44 orders, 5-star rating. This color option, so you've got blue, black, green, few pictures on the wrist from customers. Yes, let's go further on and see more pictures here. So you've got specifications here: 44mm diameter, 15mm thick. It has an NH35 movement. The lug to lug will be around 50mm. You've got sapphire coating. Weight is about 213 grams, I'm guessing, with the bracelet. Yeah, 50mm lug to lug, 300 meters. Just looking at the dial, you've got Marinemaster Professional 300 meters, your date window on the right at the number 3 indice. Go further on. Something different which I have seen is the clasp. Now the clasp on this is, you can see on the right hand side, it's got 5 micro adjustments. It's a milled clasp. And the top, if we get to the right picture, some really nice close-ups. 3D logo of that shark there. So with it being a monocard case, you can't get in through the back, so you will have to open the bezel. And if you want to open the watch, you have to go in from the top. So let's have a look at the clasp. So it's this ripple effect stainless steel clasp. The safety clasp is triangular, so similar to the Tudor clasps. Really bright loom, and it comes with this capsule case. So nothing too special though, and the price, as I mentioned, it's 240 plus, and I haven't seen anything which actually justifies the price as of yet. So let's move on to the other one they had. So they also do a bronze version. Here we go. And so this is the lighter bronze. So I believe it's an aluminium or a tin bronze version. And it does come with the same 3 colors. So it comes with green, blue and black. The logo is stainless steel. I think the nice thing about this is on the close-ups you see they used a bronze end link, so a solid end link, and which has obviously they've attached a really thick leather strap, and I think that could work because these watches are quite top heavy, so you do need something substantial on the strap to just hold it and just give you a some balance on the actual watch, some better weight distribution. So price is 284 to 429. 10 orders, 5 stars. So let's have a look why the price has such a variance. So you've got blue PT5000 and the blue black green in the SW200. Now the PT5000 and the SW100 is the actual movement used. So the PT5000 is a ETA 2824/2 movement clone. Now when I say clone, don't let that put you off. There are a range of ETA clones within the market. Now the PT5000 is a Hong Kong manufactured, the company's called Precision Tech, and they have been in, they've got a great bit of publicity around it, actually very positive. They wanted to get the watch officially certified from I think Switzerland, but or the body that does it, and I think they refused because they have to be Swiss made. Now because it's made in Hong Kong, they weren't able to do that, but it is a very accurate movement. There's loads of reviews on it, and it is very reliable, and also if not exact copy to the ETA movement. Then you also got a SW200. So the SW200 is made by it's a Swiss movement manufacturer known by the name of Celita, and they do the SW200 again, which is a like-for-like copy of the ETA 2824/2. I believe I read it might be less 1 joule, than the ETA. However, obviously you can research these movements on the net. So they're both high beat movements. They run at 28,800 beats per minute, which means you'll get 8 ticks a second. So it's good that SanMartin have changed the movements, because using the NH35 and everything it's the same, isn't it? There's nothing really different between the brands, so they've got to justify the price. However, 429 for the ETA movement, the SW200, and then PT5000 will get in at nearly £300. I don't know if it means that much to you, then I suppose. But my concern so far is, the normal NH35 stainless steel version is at 240, whereas the high beat PT5000 is 280. There's only £40 difference between them, so I think the base model is overpriced, by a lot. But I'll do a rough summary or comparison at the end. Okay, let's move on. And for that, I've gone to the actual Heimdallr website, and let's start looking at what they have. So they've got the SBD X001 Sharkmaster Homage, and we can see here it comes with a Jubilee bracelet. Looks like a beefed up SKX. So you've got your black ceramic bezel insert, double dome sapphire, and you've got your black Marinemaster dial with the Marinemaster hands, Sharkmaster written across the actual dial with your date window. The crown, I mentioned the crown on the SanMartin, and I've looked back at my Proxima, and all of them are slightly recessed, so that's not unique to the SanMartin. I just thought it was. So on the Heimdallr, we've got 2 colors. We've also got it in green and the green sunburst dial. What I'd like to pull your attention to is the actual silver chapter ring. I think that's great because it does actually break up the different colors. I'm not much of a fan of, you know, green bezel, green chapter ring, green dial. I think it just, you need something to break it up. So the fact that they've put a silver chapter ring in there, I think they've probably realized that and addressed that. So the good thing with this watch here, it does come with a silicone strap, but I think it's done something different. It's put a Jubilee bracelet on there. Obviously, subjective thing. I quite like it. Like I said, to me, it looks like from the pictures like a beefy SKX, or someone gave some steroids to the Seiko SKX, and it resulted in a Marinemaster. So the price is €230. Conversion, I don't know what that would be. I think that works out around 207. So with that being said, let's go down. You've got two color options as mentioned. The movements, we're moving on to, we've got two movements possible. So you've got the ST2130, and that's for 200, and that is another ETA 28242 clone. Now the Seagull is a well-known clone of it. I think there was something about Seagull back in the day bought the machinery, the tooling capable of making that movement. If you're wondering, you know, why they've been cloned left, right, center, the ETA movements are well-known Swiss movements. They are quite an old movement. So what I think the copyright has just run out on it, the patent, so they are free for anyone to copy. A few people have got hold of the tooling machinery, and that's why a lot of them are copying the ETAs. Plus they're a good entry-level Swiss movement, and they got a high beat movement, so it gives a nicer sweep. So that's the appeal of that movement. Bearing in mind the NH35 is still as, if not more reliable than the actual movement. So the benefit of NH35, like I said, you know, you do get it's not the high beat movement, however, it is still super reliable. The accuracy speaks for itself. Across the board, they are pretty accurate out the box without them being regulated. So on the ETA, you will be looking at roughly 295. So that's still not bad for ETA. Now, they're saying it's an ETA, just take it at face value. We don't know if it's a clone, but if they've mentioned that, you know, the ST, they might have mentioned if it was a clone or if it was a SW200 or a PT5000, but they're saying it's an ETA, so unless we know any better, let's assume it's an ETA. So overall, I think so far so good on the Heimdallr website. Let's move on down. You can see what else they've got. So the next one we have is the Kermit SBDX001, and as you can see per pictures, BGW9 loom, and it actually comes with a green ceramic bezel with a black dial, black chapter ring. Got milled clasps. So in other words, it's exactly the same as the rest. You got no sterile case. The only difference being is the color option. So again, this is a different picture. This picture shows the silver chapter ring. Now, I think this is the problem you get with these sort of brands. They have the possibility of doing the SBD X001 in the other movements as well, and the other color option. I think the Kermit, they've just separated that. I don't know why, but you can see it's clearly different to the first picture. However, they've just singled out and made it this way. So this also comes with the Seagull and the ETA movement. The ETA movement will set you back on this about 191, so it's cheaper than the one of the Jubilee. I'm guessing the Jubilee bracelet is the reason for the one that we looked at first, for the price to be slightly higher. So $10 more for, or £10 more for Jubilee is not too bad, I suppose. And then we've got the ETA, so it should be coming in at €222. So you're looking at roughly 280 pounds overall. not bad. And I think they've got just one more. I'll be honest with you, the Proxima one took it out of me. There was just so much to cover on Proxima. So on the Heimdallr, we've got a bronze case with a black ceramic bezel insert with gold indices, and we've got a gilt dial. There's a slight difference on the indices on the actual dial. You've still got your shredded shark, and the hands are slightly different. You've got an SKX style hand, and the different hour and minute hands as well. Strap options, again, there's no logo on the case back. It comes in a variety of different options. When I say variety, I mean leather and rubber. So they've got 3 color options, as you can see here. So we saw the black. Let's have a look at the blue. I think that's a really nice blue. It's a dark sunburst blue, and I think that works well with the gold indices. A brighter blue doesn't sit so well, but I think a royal darker blue with gold, it just looks better. Gold hands, gilt dial, and we've got the blue ceramic bezel. Let's look at the green one. Yeah, same story with the green one. The dial is slightly different, and same thing, silver chapter ring, and they've done the silver chapter ring on the blue also, which is good, breaks it up. Price on this is €174, so we're looking at around £150, which is really good for a bronze. Normally you'll find the bronzes do go for a bit more. On the genuine leather strap, and also a rubber strap. Description: it's an aluminium bronze, okay, and this is the NH35 movement. So between the NH35 and the ST2130, you've got 150 and 190. That's the only difference. 40 quid, which is not bad at all. And the NH35, like I said, it's a good enough movement without the need of going to the high beat. But if you want, the option is available. Nice and easy for Heimdallr. We've covered that. I think they can be found on AliExpress, so please use the links for the other stores, and just as long as you use the link I've put in there, it's still fine. You can search for whatever and you can buy whatever. It's just... So the Marinemaster homage video will be in 2 parts. That's primarily due to just how large the video was for Proxima. Roughly 18 minutes just on all the Proxima variants of the Marinemaster. So stay tuned. I'll wait for the second part, which will include the Proxima watches in there, and also the conclusion. Thank you.